breaths now that you're ready to start?
Let's go.
Welcome to the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room. Please visit our website, https://RABR.KAILEJOHANSEN.US. There you can find links to send us feedback, connect to us on social media, or instructions on how to load the podcast onto your device. I'm Kyle John Johansson. This is Andrew Scott Sutton and Rick Ross Bosley. It's time to talk Star Wars.
Rick's at the pumpkin patch. He's not here.
Before Star Wars, how about them Royals?
Yeah, how about them Royals? This is about Star Wars.
Could be Star Wars War.
Yeah. So today we're reviewing Star Wars. I don't know. It's kind of a sequel movie. I would consider it a sequel movie because it's happened before the original three. And the Clone Wars animated movie, which was a pet project of George Lucas's because he wanted to produce a TV show. I think it was supposed to be on the Nickelodeon or something like that. And he wanted to
Cartoon Network.
He wanted to bring the kids in, the young kids in.
Yeah.
He was afraid that, he's going to start aging people out, and they weren't going to watch new movies and stuff. So, anyway, we're going to do that. We're going to ask for feedback at kylejohansson.us. There's a link on the website on the right-hand side, left-hand side, one of those sides. We're on Twitter at super_duper_pod. We're on Blue Sky at Rebel Alliance Briefing Room, all one word. And you can use the comments on YouTube. There's video and audio podcast links on YouTube. You can find those all on our website. Anyway, this movie was first released on August 14th, 2008. And that was in Germany and Australia only. And then on the 15th, it was released in the United States and Great Britain. Which is kind of weird. Why was it released there before it was released here? But they wanted to feel special over there. It was only 98 minutes long, and they had a budget of $8.5 million. Much smaller than 160 or whatever it was of the regular movies. And this takes place 22 before the Battle of Yavin, 22 years before the first Death Star blew up. 2000, it was directed by David Filoni and written by George Lucas and Jonathan Hay. No, that's wrong. It was conceived by George Lucas, but it was written by Henry Gilroy, Scott Murphy, Stephen Melching, and the music was scored by Kevin Kinner, which we're familiar with most of the animated stuff he did the music for. So the film is set during a 3-year time period between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. The Clone Wars was an introduction of the animated series, like I said. It's going to premiere in the Cartoon Network, October 3rd, 2008. I said the Nickelodeon, but it's Cartoon Network. Lucas was inspired by the movie while reviewing footage from the series. The series was already in production before the movie was even an idea. And he described the film as almost an afterthought. The film was released again. Yeah, so the film was a secondary thing.
About the scraps on the floor.
Yeah. The reception was negative, but the film was a box office success. It grossed over $68 million worldwide, and earned $14 million during its opening weekend. So wow. The critics gave it bad reviews, but it still did fairly well.
Because it wasn't canon. You know how to do that, so.
Unboxing.
Now we have a special treat. It's unboxings.
Yay! This one's kind of related.
Wonder what we got.
Wonder what we got. Let me get the camera down. Oh! See my Babu Freak shirt?
Oh, that's a cool shirt.
Yes, really comfortable too. Not that you care that much, but
Is it like old school, like press on? So it's like heavy.
It's press on. Yeah. All right. So here's our box. Let's box.
Oh my God.
Let me adjust the lighting here just a second. Wait a second.
That might actually looks like it came this week.
It did not. It's been here for a couple weeks, but here we go. I'm opening up the corners. Opening up the corner. It says UPS ground here, so it's upside down right now. I know. But this one's weird. Oh, look, it's wrapped. You can see the back. You can see the back first. 703, it said. It was wrapped in styrofoam or popping paper, but the back of it didn't have any wrap.
Yeah. What I need to be wrapped in now.
Yeah. You wish, huh? All right, let me turn it around. So this is Battle Droid, is what it says.
Ooh. Is it a bobble? Bubble.
Yep. 703 is the number. Let's get it up there so you can see. He's carrying one of the black machine gun
weapons. Yeah.
703 Battle Droid is all it is. So it's just a plain droid. The one that says Roger all the time.
Roger.
Yeah. 703.
I say that on the radio all the time at work.
Roger.
Yeah.
Here's the back. It says it's part of the Episode 1 Phantom Menace collection. He's down there way on the bottom. You want to see him? He's just a standard droid.
Those things are so cool.
Not the fancy one. The fancy big ones with the round heads and stuff. He's got the, I don't know, parrot type of looking head, I guess.
So you got any the rolling droids?
No.
I
don't think they have those for bobbleheads. I'll have to look and see, but I don't think they have them. So we unboxed it. Let's talk a little bit about what these droids are. Okay, that's a little bit better. It's crooked still, but so the battle droids are also known as combat droids, war droids, clankers. We hear clankers a lot. Clankers a lot in many of the shows. They call them clankers. Probably because of the noise they make when you hit them or something. I don't know. Clank. Confederacy. One of the factions was a Confederacy of Independent Systems, which used a number of different models. General Grievous had an entire thing. The Separatist Droid Army was run by General Grievous after Dooku was killed, I think. Let's see. During the Clone Wars, the main enemies of the battle droids were clone troopers, of course. Battle droids were outlawed by the Galactic Empire in the wake of the Clone Wars. So after the Clone Wars, you weren't allowed to make battle droids,
right?
Or you got sued or fined, or put a tariff on you. Who knows what they did? But the companies who manufactured them were called. One was called Obi-Wan Laboratories. The other one was called Acrid Industries. And once they were banned, they continued to manufacture them as security droids instead.
Yeah.
So they could still make money off of them. Nevertheless, the Galactic Emperor Shev Palpatine expedited his military personnel, expecting the military to obey orders as if they were mindless droids.
The
So,
clones.
so he treated them all like droids. All
Yeah.
his staff. Let's see what else. Uh, so this is basically a a B1 battle droid. Um, and it talks in here about one of their catchphrases is Roger Roger, ROGR is what it actually what they actually say. And it's not the actual word Roger, it's Roger. And it comes out sounding like Roger. Uh, and there was a one of one of the groups that was forced to make and maintain the droids was uh, the same group that Babu Frick, who I've got my shirt on,
Yeah,
was a
yeah,
part of. He was a slave for the Empire, and when the Empire, when they banned him, they went out and basically took droids and converted them to the Republic instead of
yeah.
the Empire.
Like working droids and stuff like that.
Yeah, droidography is what they called it.
Droid.
Droidography, kind of like
Oh,
biography, but
yeah.
droidography. Anyway, that's the battle droid, and that was our unboxing, huh?
Cool.
Yay, cool. Forgot to say there's many different colors too, besides the yellow ones that we're used to seeing. They had some red ones and some other colors too. Uh, anyway,
Per battalion.
so that was pretty cool.
I would say that'd be per battalion.
Of droids.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe,
I like how they
maybe.
dropped them. I like how they dropped them.
Yeah, the little thing drops them, then they unfolds more
Yeah.
and drops more and drops more.
Yeah.
Well, it was new canon. Basically, it was is like I said
Yeah.
before. This is the first movie that Ahsoka was in, or the first thing that Ahsoka was in.
That's
Um,
good. That's it. That's her name.
Ahsoka. So the cast here is uh all obviously they're all voice actors, but Matt Lantner played Anakin. Ashley Eckstein was Ahsoka Tano. Um, James Arnold Taylor played Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is weird. I think
Yeah.
I think the animated series um Ewan McGregor started doing it later, but let's see. D. Bradley Baker, our familiar guy for playing clone troopers, played Captain Rex, Cody, and Fox, which is the one. Fox is the one that had the red outfit on when during part of the movie. Tom Kane played Yoda. He was also the narrator that we heard. Um, Nikki Futterman played Assange Ventress.
Then
Uh,
Bob King from Kansas City.
Tom Kane. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know. Let's find out.
I mean,
I don't know. Let's click on the
Overland
link and
Park,
see.
excuse me.
Just click on the link and see if it says anywhere in here. Spouse, Sam Kane. It doesn't say specifically where he's from. His
I mean,
Facebook page. Yep,
there's a
there it is. Born April 15th, 1962, Overland Park, Kansas.
yep.
Yep.
He's been on the Rock and like with Dana and Parks.
Yeah, he's been on Dan Parks a couple times. Ian Abercrombie was Chancellor Palpatine or Darth Sidious. Remember, this is before he actually became Emperor, so
Emperor. Yeah.
um, he looks pretty evil with his long square nose in the movie. Corey Burton played Zero the Hutt. So that was the
Cousin.
cousin. Catherine Tabor played Padme Amidala. Matthew Wood played the battle droid voices. Kevin Michael Richardson played Jabba the Hutt. David Accord played Rata the Hutt, which is the little baby
The baby. Okay.
that we end up rescuing
One
during the
they
movie.
stole.
Yeah. The Samuel L. Jackson, of course, played Mace Windu. Anthony Daniels was the voice of C-3PO, and Christopher Lee was the voice of Count Dooku, who is actually the same guy that played it in the actual live action movie. You were going to say something, Scott?
No, it's Christopher Lee. I just,
Yeah, he died recently. He died like a few years back. Um, he's gone too.
Everybody's dying.
Yeah, that's what happens when you get old. Everybody dies, right?
Willie Nelson's the only one left of the highwayman.
It's true. Okay, so you know what that means. It's time to grab your favorite beverage, pull up a chair, and join us in the Rebel Alliance briefing room. Yay! And we had an opening crawl in this one, except the announcer was the guy who did the opening crawl. So there was like a reporter type of voice, which we saw carry through the series all the way and such. So he says, a galaxy divided, striking swiftly after the Battle of Geonosis. Count Dooku's droid army has seized control of the major hyperspace lanes, separating the Republic from the majority of the clone army. With few clones available, the Jedi generals cannot gain foothold on the Outer Rim as more and more planets choose to join Dooku's separatists. While the Jedi are occupying a fighting war, no one is left to keep the peace. Chaos and crime spread, and the innocent become victims of the lawless galaxy. Crime Lord Jabba the Hutt's son has been kidnapped by a rival band of pirates. Desperate to save his son, Jabba puts out a call for help. A call the Jedi are cautious to answer. And while he's saying that, we're watching a battle happen. I think it's out in space. Pew 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 pew, and such. And yeah. An octopus-like craft heads for Tatooine to capture the Jabba the Hutt's son Rata as a part of a plan to make the Hutts join the Clone War. Meanwhile, a fierce battle is taking place on a crystalline planet of Christophsis between the Republic's very limited clone army and the retail caucus forces. So, kind of what the announcer guy basically said was the Separatists had control of the hyperspace lanes, so they couldn't refresh the clone army. They had clones, but they couldn't refresh them because the Separatists were blocking the way. So, with the help,
blockage of
traffic
delivery stuff.
Exactly, weapons, resupplying.
Okay.
Clones, people actually, stuff like that. So, with the help of Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin, Rex, and Cody, the clones steadily advance on their separatist forces, gaining an early victory. The victory doesn't last long, though, as the droid army under General Losums soon returns for more bloodshed. They basically retreat and such, and then all of a sudden they come back with shield generators. What's up with that?
Yeah.
With no communications or ability to fly in reinforcements, the fate of the remaining clone soldiers are in the hands of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin. A shuttle soon comes with an important delivery. Thinking it's reinforcements, the Jedi go to investigate, only to find a young Padawan named Ahsoka Tano, which they assume.
Yoda said, Hey, Yoda right then and there say it was 4.
He didn't say at the time. She said that Yoda did. She
Oh,
said so. They have both assumed that it's Padawan for Obi-Wan Kenobi,
yeah, but
and
was that?
she's like, Master Yoda told me
No.
I was
Oh,
assigned to Anakin.
yeah, that's how that line went. Yeah,
Uh, yeah. So
And Anakin's face is like, "What?
he's like, you're joking. That's not true.
That's not true.
So
I'm
they
too
team up.
immature."
Yeah. I'm too much of a rebel. They wouldn't do that to me. I like to fight alone. All that stuff he said.
Yeah,
Um, but they reluctantly team up as the battle resumes with the separatist forces advancing behind an expanding shield. They're tasked with taking down the deflector together. They penetrate enemy lines by hiding underneath like a fake rock or something, right?
yeah.
And then once they're inside the shield, they sneak around and make their way towards the shield generator. Uh, while Obi-Wan Kenobi stalls for time by holding a fake surrender and negotiation with Losum. He like gives
Yeah,
up right away. You're like, what the hell? What's he giving up for? Anakin's still out there.
let's have a tea party.
Yeah, let's have a tea party. So he pulls in a couple rocks and says, "Sit down, uh, Master Yoda." Okay. Soon after the final victory of the Republic, Christophus, Master Yoda arrives with the urgent message that a mysterious group of renegades has kidnapped Jabba's son, and it's up to Anakin, Rex, and Ahsoka and the clones to rescue him back with safety. Um,
Bad
Obi-Wan
batch.
flies to Tatooine. Uh, yeah, so that's out of place somehow. That doesn't seem right. Um, yeah, so he's stalling with the surrender negotiation, and then Ahsoka and Anakin are fighting a battle of their own. Every time they touch something, droids pop up out of the ground or something like that. It's like anything touches the ground, a droid pops up.
Yeah.
Like Ahsoka cuts one of the droids' heads off and it bounces, and two or three droids pop up because they touched the ground. Um, but they eventually reduce the shield and destroy it so it's not there, and the cannons eventually overwhelm the army with last battle where they're all together, and like Anakin is attacking the big I don't know, spider like
The
round
Walker.
the round walkers. Yeah, they're big and round. Um and then at the end of the battle, Master Yoda, I thought he did that during a video conference thing and not arrived there. But it's up to Anakin, Ahsoka, Rex, and the clones to rescue him and bring them back for safety. Uh, Obi-Wan flies to Tatooine to assure Jabba that Rada will be returned safely and secure the promised by the Hutts by using their trade routes for safe passage within the Outer Rim. So they want to use the Hutts trade routes to resupply all their battles or whatever they're having. After a
And
briefing in the Republic, what was that?
and then Anakin go, well, why we have to help the Huts?
Yeah, they're criminals. He did, but he was explained that uh, he had to. They needed them. They needed the Hutts to help with the war. They needed an alliance with them.
Enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah. After briefing the Republic flagship, Anakin's forces descend to the clouds of the jungle planet of Teth for one of the many of pillars which litter the landscape. Under heavy fire, Anakin, Ahsoka, and Rex storm the monastery atop the pillar and find Rada, who has gotten sick, only caught in an elaborate, and they're only to be caught in an elaborate trap. Count Dooku has staged the kidnapping himself in order to blacklist the Jedi from the hut. First, he has the Jedi retrieve the young hut to secure fake evidence, and then Assange Ventress, as the overseer of the operation, is charged with retrieving or killing the young hut.
That's it.
But they set him up. They film them rescuing the hut, the hutlet. What did they call what's his name? It just says young hut. Anyway, they rescue him and they film it and make it look like they were actually kidnapping him.
Yeah.
And then they sent it to the council and everything. And they're like, oh no, they're kidnapping him. This isn't right. We're gonna turn against them and go with Captain or Count Dooku. And Ahsoka and Anakin are quarreling about procedures, and they slowly start to gain more and more respect for each other as they go along. They escape the trap with R2-D2 and hijack a derelict transport vehicle, which is like a T-wing thing. It's got a wing over here and a wing down here. Sorry.
It was a very good crash.
Yeah. He crashed it very well.
Yeah.
And Ahsoka uses the medicine on the board to treat the hutlet, and Obi-Wan is alerted by Anakin and arrives just in time to relieve Rex's forces and engage Ventress in combat while he manages to defeat her, though Ventress flees in the face of capture. She almost gets captured, and then she sneaks off, like seems like all the Sith people do. But there were some pretty good fights there. She had a lightsaber that was kind of like the one that what's his name had, Darth Maul, where it was double sworded, and then she could take it apart and do two of them if she wanted.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Senator Amidala learns of Anakin's mission and is worried, and she decides to contact Jabba's uncle, Zero the Hutt. Zero, who lives on a shady part of Coruscant. The Hutt strangely refuses to cooperate, and soon Padme finds out why. Because Zero is actually the one who kidnapped the baby Hutt.
Yeah.
With Dooku to engineer the downfall of his nephew and seize power over the Hutt clans himself. So Padme is discovered and detained, but a chance call by C3PO enables her to summon for help. He yells, C3PO, they're captured me, help! He's the one doing it. Zero is soon arrested by the Coruscant Guard. And Padme is released. Upon their arrival on Tatooine, Anakin and Ahsoka are attacked by manga guards, which are those guards with the electric staffs or whatever. They're charged. Yeah. And they're shot down, and that's when they have that crash. Like you said, it was it's not going to be a good crash, but it's a good crash because they survive.
Yep.
And Dooku corners them, and Anakin devises a ruse. So he goes and confronts Dooku, and Dooku slices open Anakin's backpack that's supposed to have Zero, or not Zero, the hutlet in it, and it's not the hutlet, it's just a bunch of rocks. He says Ahsoka is already on the way. and they're already at Jabba's palace. But just as they get near, Ahsoka is ambushed by three more guards, and she takes forever to defeat them. She's like, I don't know, scared or I don't know what it is, but all of a sudden she starts cutting them up and such, and escapes. But Anakin gets to the palace before she does, because Dooku is escapes, running off, mad and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
they, once he gets there, they're threatened by execution by Jabba the Hutt. Even though Rada, which is the Huttlet, is returned safely. And I think it's funny. So I didn't really mention it, but they throughout the whole movie they keep calling him Stinky because he burps and stuff. But the Hutts are notorious for their smell. They have a bad
Yeah.
smell anyway. They give off a bad odor. Uh, I mean, a worm kind of creature probably would, I guess, but yeah.
That's
And
why they
then
get all the girls.
that's right. And then suddenly Padme calls just in time to convince Jabba of his uncle's duplicity, meaning his uncle has just been captured for uh, stealing Rada, and and Ahsoka triumphantly retrieved by Obi-Wan Kenobi, Yoda, and Cody. And fortunately, that's the end of the episode. That was a pretty quick overview there, but
Yeah.
it was a short movie. It was I kept falling asleep through it, but that's because it was early in the morning. I was pretty tired. I had to get up
Uh,
this morning and feed the doggies, and
oh, oh,
Amy usually does that on the week, so I give her a break on the weekend.
oh. That's so
So
sweet.
yeah. Anyway, it was a pretty good movie. It was a little different than the the live action movies. They could pack a little bit more. I'd say action in there, more fighting and stuff. It seemed like there's a lot
Yeah.
of battles, which honestly the shooting back and forth of the droids and the Jedi that gets kind of boring after a little bit of time. But there was a lot of that in there. Um, so what did you think of the movie itself? Was it? I mean, did you like that it was animated, or did you just not like the animated part at all? Or
Oh, I like the anime. And once I was watching Bad Batch and all those other stuff, I got used to the animated and I like the animated.
yeah, when I first heard of that there was an animated movie, I didn't watch it for the longest time just because I'm like I'm not really into the cartoons per se. I mean, I was when I was a
Yeah,
kid, but I haven't really watched cartoons for a long time. I kind of resisted it until, like you said, I started watching the other series.
yeah.
I resisted that, and I resisted the Clone Wars series too for a long time
That
until
was good.
yeah, it was until the Rebels
That
came
was
out.
really good. Yeah,
And when I heard about the Rebels and then how good the Rebels was too, I was like, well, maybe I should go back and watch all these things. So I started
yeah,
watching them, and they're really good. I actually watched the Clone Wars and the Rebels at the same time. I just traded off back and forth a little bit.
yeah,
Um, and you learn so much in the Clone Wars. It's not even funny. There's so
yeah.
much backstory and so much mythology. You learn about, you know, um, the
Shows you where the ideas came from,
right.
or yeah,
You learn about holocrons. You learn about why they go and look for um, the crystals for their sabers and what they mean, and you learn about you know
that was really that. That's what I was. What am I saying? That's what really interested me is that they had to pick their crystals.
yeah they
I
had to pick
mean,
their own crystals. They're like
Luke didn't even have to go and pick his crystal. Did he?
Maybe he did. We just never saw it.
Okay.
I think he probably did. Because he went and there was talk in the sequels that he went with um his sister to look for her crystal.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. Well, that's right. I
I
remember that little flash.
Yeah, there wasn't I don't think they showed her, but they showed her putting her lightsaber together or something like that. I think
And
in
then during
one of
the
those
training,
flashes.
what was that
Yeah,
little bit during training that she said, "I'll never be as good as you, or I'll be better." I,
yeah, she'll never be as good as him,
yeah, that's it.
and it's probably because she saw herself more as a politician than
Yeah.
a
Well, that was
Jedi.
that, I guess. Uh, now I'm trying to remember who took them, who 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 took them and separated them, and Yoda told them where to put them, right?
Yeah, it was both
So Yoda
Yoda,
probably foresaw that she was going to be a politician and that he would be a good,
right? Bail Organa would be a good fit.
yeah.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. So, um, Yoda's the one that took her to Bail, and then Obi-Wan, of course, took Luke to meet the Skywalkers and stuff.
Yeah.
Baru and Owen,
Oh, Owen, yeah. Owen.
which are young little kids in the Phantom Menace movie. Or I'm sorry, the Attack of the Clones is where we saw them first, I think. Maybe. No, it was in the Phantom. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Uh, anyway,
The
yeah, I mean,
animation in this was
it's
really
pretty good.
good, and but the pew 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 did get on my nerves a little bit
Yeah,
after a while.
it was the same type of battle over and over again. It seemed like.
Yeah, because
Um,
they're not.
yeah. So, uh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty cool. Let me beg for feedback again. So feedback at kylejohansson.us. That's if you don't know by now, it's KAILEJOHANSEN.us.
Is that what it
There's all
is?
Yeah, there's
Wow.
also a link on our website, over there somewhere, and there's a form there you fill out, and it comes to us. We're on Twitter at super_duper_pod. We're on Blue Sky at Rebel Alliance Briefing Room, all one word. And we're on YouTube where we have our video and audio up there all the time. Uh, yeah. So I learned yesterday, or not yesterday, was it Friday? Maybe it was
Yeah.
Thursday, that
Thursday.
Netflix is going to start doing podcasts. They're going to start hosting podcasts and stuff.
Oh.
They already do their own podcasts for some of their shows that they have.
Mhm.
But they're going to start hosting all the other podcasts out there too at some point,
Wow.
which is interesting.
Well,
That's just another.
they're also
Uh, well, any other comments about the show that we supposedly watched, the Clone
no.
Wars animated show?
I just remember it because it was cool, and like you said, it was the same battle. Seemed to be like the same battle that uh, um, Ahsoka and uh,
Anakin.
Skywalker was keep battling and battling.
Right, and I thought the only thing that was great about it, besides some of the other things that happened, but we got to see a couple new huts. We got to see Zero and Rata and stuff. But the Ahsoka stuff was kind of cool, where how she was introduced, and You know, Obi-Wan Kenobi thought she was a little kind of, wild and stuff. And
Yeah.
so did Anakin, which is funny because Anakin's the wild one. But
The real live one.
anyway,
They didn't they announce? God, now I'm lost the show name. The second season of oh God,
Andor.
yeah,
Yeah, I think that's
that's it.
supposed to actually be coming out. Um, I think it's either in December or something, or November, December. I don't know. It's been officially filmed and everything, so uh, that's just Andor. They we're starting gonna supposedly not going to do a new season of our favorite show.
Mando
Maybe they might do another one of those next year, but the movie's supposed to come out the year after that. So,
26.
and they're supposed to be. They keep saying that they're going to do three of them. So three of the Mando movies.
What?
Yeah,
I'm gonna kill off Grogu.
maybe Grogu dies. I don't know if you even watch some of the video, but almost every video I put a little thing up on the screen that says Grogu dies. See if people will notice it, but we don't get feedback around here for some reason. I don't know why.
I'm sorry.
But
It's my wonderfully ugly face.
no, it's not you. Most of the people I think actually just listen to it. They don't watch it.
Yeah. Do you?
All right. I'm gonna run the outro then, and we can
Okay.
about other stuff if you want.
Thank you for listening to the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast. Please visit our website where you can play current and past episodes. That's https://RABR KyleJohansson.us. That's RABR.KyleJohansson.us. On the left-hand side is a navigation menu. You can use this to learn how to load the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast on your Android or Apple phone and tablet. And we have direct links to our podcast on Apple and Google Podcast. Please participate by connecting to our social media, answering questions of the week, or submitting feedback directly from the site. Again, all of these are available at the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room website at RABR.KyleJohansson.us. This podcast in no way is approved, sponsored, or owned by Lucasfilms Ltd., Disney, Disney Plus, or any of its subsidiaries. All opinions are solely owned by Kyle and or Scott, and in no way express the views or opinions of their past or present employers. Views and opinions are not supported or restricted by Lucasfilms Ltd., Disney, Disney Plus, or any of its subsidiaries. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or any or other use of this podcast and its affiliate sites without consent of Super Duper Podcast Network and its host is prohibited. I am Kyle John Johansson, and this is Andrew Scott Sutton. Say goodbye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Whenever I get around to re-recording that, I'm going to take all that disclaimer stuff out. All right, so let's hit this.